Hi Aries, welcome to your March 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. For those of you celebrating a birthday in March, happy birthday Aries. Now, until the 20th, the sun will be in your 12th house. So it's worthwhile asking who you are, because when the sun moves into your sign the 20th, you're going to be experiencing your first season with Chiron there, and I'm not saying that Chiron's a massive energy. This is actually going to be as well the first season without Uranus there completely, because Uranus is actually shifting into Taurus out of your sign. So what does that mean? Well, since 2011 you've entertained this sign, and it's worthwhile considering what it's taught you about your freedom. Now, a lot of people are very, very hesitant about Uranus. They see it as incredibly disruptive. They see it as incredibly, it's kind of a rebellious streak to it. But it is the sign of Aquarius that is ruled by Uranus. And there's this common misconception of complete detachment, complete rebellion. And all of these things are factors. They're never the full picture. What Uranus actually does is offer you breakthroughs. Now, freedom, I wanted to mention Aries because it is leaving your sign, so this is quite important. Freedom is defined as the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants. The state of not being imprisoned or enslaved. Okay, so with Uranus passing the gauntlet onto Chiron, in some ways, healing through freedom is important. You may heal people who are victims of sex trafficking. You may start to involve yourself in charities in that arena. You may figure out what part of your life you felt enslaved to. Uranus will not affect your financial sector unless you feel there is something within that withholding you from freedom. You can only rebel against that which is not working for you. So you can actually use the energy with Uranus moving into your financial sector to make more money, to be self-employed. You want financial freedom. Financial freedom will be your goal with Uranus there. Thinking about finances, Uranus moves into your sign, Taurus. Uranus leaves your sign and moves into Taurus on the 6th of March. Now, on the 6th of March, also, we have a new moon in your 12th house. So this is a brilliant time to form new subconscious habits, develop more subconscious awareness, identify your trigger points and see how you want to go around healing them. Do you want to try cognitive behavioral therapy? Hypnosis? Is there something that can give you a little bit of release from the past that is affecting the future? It takes 18 months to form a real strong habit. So if you want to use the next year, particularly with Chiron in the first year of Chiron in your sign, if you want to use the next year to fully embrace a new way of doing things, this is the season to kick start it, particularly as we go into April, okay? We also have Mercury retrograding in your 12th house on the 5th of March, and that's until the 28th. So you're going over very old issues. Patterns and behavior will come to light. It'll be incredibly enlightening, and it'll actually be a good thing. It's something that you can channel into your art, channel into your day-to-day activities. If you channel it correctly, Aries, it's going to be very, very powerful. With Mars in your financial sector, your ruler is in your financial sector too. So your self-worth is going to increase, and sometimes that comes from being very aware of where you've been selling yourself short, where you have limiting self-beliefs. Everything is becoming apparent there. We also have Venus in your 11th house, which means friendships may turn romantic. You may resort to online dating. That would be very beneficial for you under this aspect. And you may also meet people with more common interests, good communication. Hobbies is where you're likely to meet people. Now, With that being said, I look at the sky for you because we will go more into your season in the second half, the mid-monthly readings, because there's a full moon in your relationship sector too, giving the second half of the month this real romantic spin, as well as that Venus enters your 12th. So the 12th house is going to continue. So what I want you to do with this combination of 12th and first house energies is bridge the gap between your action and what is driving you. So seeing what's underneath and what is provoking you. As an Aries, you can have real quick tempers, and sometimes you need to figure out what those trigger points are because they can inspire you rather than drive you crazy. So some points of this month are very reflective and a lot to do with the past energies. With Mercury there, you may actually feel a lot of old issues, old people come back, and it can leave you feeling a little bit vulnerable to their influence. So there's a big emphasis, Aries, on emotional, mental healing. But there's new starts in money, and we offer up with Chiron in your sign and the sun moving into your sign on the 20th, real consideration of who you truly are, what your identity is, okay? So you guys like a challenge. The challenge is to reflect. Now that is hard for an Aries. Sit still is not something you're ever going to respond to. But you guys rule the head. So if you're getting headaches, it means that there's something that you need to really assess within your reactions. It's something that you're reacting to. There's a feeling, there's a trigger point, probably something to do with the past. But it would be worth looking into it a little bit. It'll come up naturally, Past energies, conversations. You'll find the people around you want to talk about your past more. So if you're dating someone, they might have questions. But we'll see, Aries. 5 of Cups, the Lovers, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands and the Lovers, and the King of Cups. Some of you are entering a new relationship with a water sign, and for some of you it's an air sign, so a lot of you are dating somebody new. Right? Off the bat. Now, what else have we got here? Gossip. You're reading into what people say more. Because loose lips sink ships when Mercury is retrograde in Pisces season. Another metaphor to bear in mind. Ships can sail pretty comfortably across water. That's what they're built for. The ship will only sink if it lets the water in. So Aries, with Mercury retrograding in a water sign, it would be very wise to consider what you're listening to, what other people are saying. With Pisces season, a lot of folk have a flair for the dramatic. Knight of Swords in the positive position. Positive drama means excitement. I think it's romantic. Some of you Aries are dealing with a Gemini, and for some of you it's definitely a water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. The Ace of Wands signifies something new which is growing. It's a very fresh, spring-like energy. When Pisces season rolls around, and when your season in particular rolls around, it heralds the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere. There are buds on the trees. Things are starting to develop. With Mercury retrograde, it can feel a little like they're not developing quick enough. When Mercury's in retrograde, caring becomes important because communication can be a little off at times with this transit. The 5 of Cups and the Devil. You've had some very negative influences in your past, negative temptations, negative spiraling thoughts, a lot of addictive energies, things that weren't so healthy. With the 5 of Cups, they caused you a lot of sorrow. It could have been past love relationships. There's possibilities with the Lover card, but there's also this element of choices, having more than one option in love or career. The Magician, definitely Gemini energy, sure, but the Magician in your positive position is this kind of manifesting what it is that you want. So as I talked about moving the 12th and 1st energies, how they coexist together peacefully is by looking into your subconscious triggers and your automatic beliefs. So what is the first thing that comes to your head, and is it serving you or being a disservice to you? That's important. The Knight of the Swords and the Magician. It's going to help you cut through the thoughts that are not helping. You're going to be sifting through your mentality, and you're going to be, with great vigor, cutting out that's not working. You also want to be very, very direct, but your directness may cause you problems. With the Page of Swords and the Tower, yes, it is the Tower, sorry, but look at the boat going under the water. What did I just say about water getting into this ship? Now, this ship is on fire, but it's still sinking. The reason that it's on fire in this reading is because you are a fire sign, trying to get through the watery season unscathed, and it can dampen your spirits, especially for you, Aries, 12th house. It's not always the type of energy you're wildly comfortable with. If other people want to tell you what to do without you asking, don't listen. If other people are trying to make you doubt yourself, don't listen. Don't let that water in the ship. And don't set fire to yourself to keep everybody else warm. Okay? You might not like what you're hearing from other people, but bear in mind other people are trying to communicate the best they can in retrograde. Okay? And the Two of Cups, a new relationship. Ace of Wands, Two of Cups, a new relationship. If you're in a current relationship, there is something new beginning in your life that is a significant part of your life to come. So that could be work, it could be a new job, a job that you feel really fulfilled in, a job that you really, really love, or it could be an idea that has sprouted that you need somebody else to work with, Aries. But there looks like love here, which is so good. So good for those of you that are single. But I must say, and I've been warning everyone about this with Mercury going retrograde in Pisces, because Pisces people, when they're very unhappy, do sort of seek everyone else's approval and advice when they're trying, when they're confused. With Mercury retrograde in Pisces, what people say and what they mean can get sort of mishmashed. It can get a bit wishy-washy. And you have to be wary of taking somebody else's advice, because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your decisions and you know what you want better than anybody. You know what's best for you better than anybody. So just bear that in mind when people are trying to advise you when you're not asking them to. Okay? Don't let somebody else's petty drama bother you too much. It's not their business. Underneath, Six of Pentacles, generosity. So people are offering you things, be it opinions, be it ideas, be it perspectives, be it work. Offerings, offerings, offerings. People want to give you gifts. Possibly a new love is very generous and you like that. Aries, you like that a lot. Now, let's see what else we've got. Eight of Swords, restriction. In the past, you were in a very restrictive, unhealthy relationship or bond. Maybe some of you still are. Nine of Pentacles, gratitude. Gratitude is key. It came up for Pisces too. The key to surviving Mercury retrograde. Wow, the world in your positive. Queen of Cups and the challenge. And the Sun, soulmate. Real soulmate. Wow. This is very, very, very positive. Let me see. Eight of Wands and the Ace of Cups is here as well. Why would that be? Traveling for love, traveling with love. Now, Aries, let's talk about this Queen of Cups in the challenge. So some of you are dealing with a water sign, and I sort of feel as though there is trouble here in terms of communication. They might say something they don't mean, or you might say something you don't mean, because the Queen of Cups is very sensitive and the Page of Swords is coming up as gossip. The way I'm reading this is that Mercury, because Page of Swords is a very Mercury-esque energy, Mercury in retrograde with the Tower is causing confrontation with water signs. Or it's making people incredibly sensitive to your bluntness, because you're quite blunt, Aries, let's be honest. Not everyone's always prepared for that. What's beautiful though, I know that if some of you are dealing with a water sign and you're worried now, you're like, oh, they're in the challenge, is this going to end? It's with the Tower. If some of you have ended things with a water sign, that may be why that's coming up. But what's interesting is actually that the Two of Cups and the Sun and the Ace of Wands, to me, is a very happy relationship. It's also news of a pregnancy for some people. But your outcome couldn't be any better. You have the Magician in the world here too. In your positive position, this couldn't be any better. So, Two of Cups and the Sun. Partnership and happiness. A happy partnership that's developing at a pretty... It could be quite quick though. The Eight of Wands and the Ace of Cups, I sort of noticed, it's a very quickly developing relationship. Why is this going so fast? I suppose because you're in Aries, you guys like it to go quick. But with Mercury being in retrograde, don't get too concerned if little petty arguments arise, because that doesn't mean something has to end. It doesn't mean that you have to fall out with everybody. Just put it down to Mercury in retrograde and say, that's just Mercury. It's not going to affect you that much. The Magician's on your side. The Magician is here on your side. Maybe it's going to slow you down a little bit. Maybe you're going to regenerate with the world here. A successful completion to a certain cycle. You're really embracing the more esoteric and spiritual energies of the world, and you're feeling optimistic, particularly when the Sun, as represented here, moves into your sign in the 20th. Now, we will go more into that in the mid-monthly. And in the extended, we do have each element individually. But Aries, I gotta tell you, I can't argue with your outcome being, for a lot of you, a relationship. Love. Love, love, love. Two of Cups in the Sun is very soulmate-like. Compatible, it's really compatible. But it's funny, the people that have popped up, Aries, do seem to be the air and water signs. It's kind of cool because even if there is a little bit of what feels like a Tower moment, it's like you guys get it together. If there's an argument, if there's drama, if there is gossip, or one of you is kind of self-destructive about something, it's like there's a happy ending in March. Two of Cups and the Sun. The Ace of Wands, dear God, there's something really passionate and balanced about this. It's really very, very beautiful. I must say, I really like these cards, Aries. So I'm going to draw some of these True Love cards by Belinda Grace. And by the way, this is the Oceanic Tarot by Jane Wallace. Because it's Pisces season most of the month, I'm using the Oceanic. Self-respect, emotional freedom, and the distorted feminine. Oh, so you could be... Oh, there's connection underneath. There is a connection for sure with the Two of Cups there. So there's an emotional relationship forming. The difficulty is, Aries, one of you has distorted feminine energy. It could be you, it could be them. But one of you may feel a little bit insecure under Mercury and Pisces retrograding energy. Or you might feel, with Uranus shifting signs and Chiron into your sign, you may be feeling a little bit distorted and need a little bit extra care and a little bit extra push. Now, self-respect. You both have to have self-respect to have a healthy relationship. Treat yourself as you would want others to treat you, and treat others as you would want others to treat you. And bear in mind that this relationship is probably going to be full of emotional freedom, where you feel less restricted. And this is a lot to do, as I said, with Uranus, freedom. If you have freedom in a relationship, you don't need to rebel. If you have freedom at work, you don't have to rebel. Okay? Choose your rebellious point wisely. You don't want to be self-destructive with the Tower there. I do feel like the feminine energies may be kind of difficult to understand with the Piscean season for you, Aries, but you'll get there because your outcome is so happy. In fact, it's like you're channeling the more emotional side of yourself and you're thinking, I can do this time. I can be vulnerable with the energies. I can be renewed with spring. You're the first sign of the zodiac for a reason. Fresh energy, spring in your step. Like a little lamb, ready for spring. It's very positive energy. I'm going to draw a goddess guidance card, Aries, as well, and see what we've got. Oh. Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. True love, wow. Guinevere, true love, unconditional love, and true love. Could this be any more romantic? I don't think it could. Wow, Aries. Goodness. I also have the go outside card underneath. So getting fresh air. So springtime is coming. You may be finding yourself outdoors a lot more, but a lot of you are discovering true love. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. Partnership, happiness, love yourself, others, no matter what the outward appearances may be. I think you guys are having a little bit of a blip, a tower moment. But just remember, this is real. Okay? Love is being blessed upon you in the month of March and even in April. Bear in mind, there's that full moon in your partnership sector, Aries, at the end of the month. You probably decide to make something official. So, seems to be somebody who loves you for you, you love them for them. If you're completely single, this is a pretty good omen. And if you are in a relationship and it's going through its trials, it seems to be something special as an outcome for this. Don't let Mercury retrograde ruin your life because it's very minor. It's all about communication, and communication is key. However, it does not mean that everything has to fizzle. This is testament that if you're with the right person, it'll survive Mercury retrograde. It'll survive any retrograde if it's the right person, okay? Aries, just don't be too impatient with this person, okay? So I love you guys. I'll see you in the extended if you're joining me there, and if not, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!